Do you think change is hard? Like it's going to be discomforting. It's going to require sacrifice. And it's going to be like pushing a boulder up the hill. Is that what you think about change? I want to challenge you today to think about change from a positive perspective. And no, it's not just about shifting our thoughts and thinking happy things. No, I'm talking about only moving forward with positive increments, positive change. So let's talk about this because I think this can really help our results. I know I felt it for myself and I wanted to share that with you. And so I want you to consider how instead of holding firm to the way things have always been, instead of thinking that there's a right way and a wrong way to approach something, like this is a way that you can create positive change in your life is you can open yourself up to consider how could I make a shift that benefits me, and maybe even the benefit you're getting is how you relate to others, and more on that in just a moment. But you're creating a positive change from a space that is fully in support of where you're at right now in life, and maybe because circumstances have shifted, maybe because you're feeling a need for a shift, whatever it is. So let me give you an example. And I want to warn you that this could trigger you because of what the example is. So, what if there is no right way to fold your bath towels, to fold your bath towels and put them away? What if there's not a right way to do that? And the reason I say this can be triggering is because I grew up thinking there was a right way to fold towels. And I took that with me when I got my first apartment. And then when I got married and he moved in and he's living there, I quickly learned that he doesn't know how to fold towels in the right way. Like the way he folded them was awful and it took up so much space. And I was like, yuck, no, wrong, bad, veto, all the things. So I want to challenge you with this because I know what it is like to hold on to something so tightly, to judge others, tell others that they are wrong, when in fact, it is just a different way of approaching things. And this can happen, yes, with our bath towels, with toilet paper. That's a big one for people, right? And just for any and everything, really. There are very few things that are actual moral issues that are a right and a wrong, like do not kill, okay? But toilet paper and bath towels and any kind of laundry element, okay, we'll just stay in that category instead of touching all areas of life, like they do not have moral implications, despite what you may think. So if you learn how to release that, it can be freeing for yourself. It can be freeing for others around you. So that's what I'm saying. This can impact not only you, but others in your life. So some of the things that I have worked on is releasing that there's a right way to do dishes. There's a right way for taking care of the kids. There's the right way for managing a house. There's a right way for doing work. Especially right now, I'm feeling it. I'm onboarding in a new job. And it's like I'm taking on the way that they have done it. Like that's right. Like I'm starting a new job. Who am I to come in and just tell them how to do things? But it's like I see things, I observe it, and then I can analyze and say, okay, here's my take now. Now that I've learned how you do it, now I see where everything's going. Maybe there are areas where I can offer change, but first I'm going to examine the model, not just come in and be judgmental. See, that example I gave early in my marriage, that was me just being judgmental. I was not open to any kind of change at all. So there's different ways that we can approach this. Are you grasping what I'm putting down? Because we develop these ways of doing things in our lives. And then we just get set in those ways because it makes it so much easier on our brain to just rinse and repeat, not have to approach it and figure it out each and every time. Can you imagine, seriously, if every time you did the laundry, you were like, oh, now what do I do? Like, no, now what do I do? Of course, you have your way of folding towels and you just do it and rinse and repeat in a habit. That's fine. But what I'm talking about is when it becomes a problem and it complicates things. And yeah, you get where I'm going. So discovering this and discovering some other bizarre things about him. And this is all, I got married very young. So I was 20, yeah, because I was 20 and then I turned 21 afterwards. So I got to tell you, there was part of me that I can look back now and I can see how rigid I was to holding to certain things and thinking there was a right way and a wrong way to do stuff. And it made me very judgmental as a result. So some things I could kind of just like look over and not assess too harshly. I was like, that's weird, or why do you do that? But I kind of let it be. And then there were other occasions where I would like full on go into mom mode, and he's my husband, but I'd be like, no, this is wrong. And let me teach you the right way to do this. And this is how we're going to do it here. Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't very cooperative. So it was more than just the bathhouse, if I'm being honest with you. But I give some grace to young and naive Stephanie, who was very rigid and very judgmental, because I think in looking back, there was a lot of overarching change I was experiencing so young in my life that some of these ways of doing things were kind of grounding mechanisms for myself. And I didn't understand all that. I didn't have the ability to understand my thoughts back then. I just dealt with the thought as it came and just attacked life and just kept going. So here's where I've improved. I've learned to listen to my own feelings and those of others, to be kinder about the way that things are done and the routine or the structures in place. Because, like I said before, what if there's not a right way to do this? What if we can just let that go? Take the morality out of each and every decision and just move forward. Like, can you relate to this? Kid, is this helping you in any way? If so, please like give me a little support and love in the comments, because this to me has been a huge change and it's radical. Like some people are going to be triggered by this. I just know it. Because some people get so set in their ways, and some people move through life not learning how to take control of their own thoughts and feelings. And so they're triggered by when there's change implemented in the way that they do things. And even like I was saying with my bounce routine, just the change in the seasons that could really throw somebody off if they were not willing to be flexible and adaptable in the way that they do stuff, because they had set it up a certain way and their life worked that way. And now that things have gotten off track just simply because of the sun and the weather changes, like that can really set people off. And so I want you to know, if you have felt set off, if you have felt triggered, if you felt just charged by the way that things change around you that don't fit into your system, there is relief possible. And a large part of that comes with just acceptance, one, of knowing where you're getting triggered. That's where you want to start. And then two, working through how you can open up and start to see another way of doing it without it being the right or the wrong, or this is the way I like it versus the way I don't like it, and adapting from there. So being able to listen to what works best for you, that's so important, because I'm not going to discount or tell you to put down anything that works for you. It's great that you found something that works for you. It's great that you don't have to think about it all the time. I'm just asking you if you want to open yourself up to thinking about change that could benefit you, could benefit those around you who interact with you, that is going to put less resistance, less tension, less angst is a good word to put there, between you and what you have going on in life, you and the results you're trying to achieve, and you and your relationships. See how this impacts so many different things? So now I've learned that when my body resists something, it's not necessarily because it's trying to put it off, like to prevent doing it, procrastinate. Sometimes I just need to listen to what my body is asking. Because how often do we try and change through pressure, judgment, shame? Yeah, you know the resistance that somebody gives you when you try and tell them to do that. You know the resistance that comes up for you, your own resentment and heartache and bitterness. Like we don't like that. But when a habit or any other thing that you're trying to create feels good, emotionally, physically, like logically, it makes sense in your brain, it lights you up, then we're more likely to keep doing it. So it doesn't take willpower. It doesn't take emotional safety. It doesn't take any building up of momentum. It's just, it allows us to make the shift, make the change in small increments because it's positive, it feels good, it's aligned, it makes sense. Any of those can be factors that are positive change. And that's where it starts. Small incremental changes that help you to feel better. So you can honor where you are and still get better. Just small positive changes. Because real change doesn't have to come from massive shifts. I hope you get that. Adding things up, and change can be positive, and it doesn't have to attach to something being morally right or wrong. That there is a certain way to do things. We can open up to explore without such rigidity, without such judgment, without such even pressure. for what we are trying to create, where we're trying to collaborate on, and how we want to keep moving from here. So I hope that really worked with you. I hope I didn't trigger you too much with that conversation, but it felt like something important that I wanted to share and something I'm personally always evolving and working through. And I've just been experiencing these changes, so many changes with taking on a new job and taking on new responsibilities. So I'm excited to be able to have this conversation with you. And if you're ready for more support, whether it's adjusting your habits or the way that you're approaching things, or something is really setting you off and you want to work through that, visit me over at stephanieedwards.com and we can work on that one small, powerful shift at a time. Happy bouncing, friend.